Susan, this is Hayley, and welcome back to Cancer Research Demystified. This is another edition of Spam Filter, where we invite our favourite internet fact policeman, Ben, to help us dispel some cancer myths. So today we're going to talk about the Big Pharma cover-up. Is it true that Big Pharma are hiding a cure to cancer? Could it be true? And in the interest of a little self-reflection, could there be a big academia cover-up either?
So let's get started. So Ben, Big Pharma cover-up, what would be in their interest? Why would they do this?
Well, cancer is a billion-dollar industry, so it goes.
It's $1 billion. What do you mean by that? Who makes that money?
Well, essentially you have pharmaceutical companies who produce the drugs you might have heard of. They, of course, charge profit for this, whether it's through the NHS or through, if you're in America, through health insurance. So they make actually large sums of money for it, and it's to cover...
It's not just cancer, right? Any disease.
All diseases, yeah,
Right.
of course.
So the idea is there's money to be made off being sick. So
Exactly.
Why would you cure someone when you could keep them sick?
Exactly. There's also been incidences of white-collar crime between pharmaceutical companies covering up the results of trials which have shown their drugs to be maybe unsafe, or trying to misrepresent the results so that they seem better than they are. So generally people mistrust them as an institution, and that kind of...
Yeah, there's loads of that stuff on the internet.
Yeah, so
like a lot of it's got some solid evidence.
Yeah, you're kind of selling me on.
I mean, that's it. People who are untrustworthy aren't trusted, so that's kind of where the foundation of it lies, really.
Okay.
Okay, so say the cure wasn't something they could patent and make money off. You know, this plant, it's natural, it's free. Eating, you know, a dandelion cures cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can pharma wouldn't make money off that, you know?
Well, actually, they would. So, let's just say it was a natural cure. It was something you could all grow outside.
This isn't...
Like this plant, or...
That would be like the worst video.
Or any plant, for that matter.
In plain sight.
The idea was largely that you would not be able to make money from that. Well, have you heard of aspirin? I assume you have, been scientists. It's actually one of the most successful drugs of all time. It's still sold huge quantities in the US and the UK. Pharmaceutical companies make millions and millions of pounds of aspirin all the time. Aspirin's actually synthesized from willow bark. So again, it's just a component of the bark. You could make tea with willow bark, you can chew it, some people do.
Yeah, I read that in a survival guide.
Yeah.
And it has proper analgesic, so it will work.
Exactly, and this is the whole point. So you do that, but then it's not as effective.
Yeah.
You'd have to eat a lot more to get the
Just
same
go to the
value.
woods to cure your cancer.
I'm not sure where I would find willow around this
No.
lab in London.
Not in sufficient quantity
Anyone's-
several times a day or whatever it would be needed.
Yeah, it's just massively inconvenient. And the other thing is, you're also going to introduce lots of other chemicals that maybe don't have the same desired effect. So what pharmaceutical companies do is they try to find the active ingredient, the thing that would kill the cancer, and then they purify that. Because then you get less off-target effects and less...
Control the dose. So it's
Exactly, yeah.
they're doing a good thing by doing it.
Yeah, exactly, but it's necessary.
So realistically, the cure for cancer would make that industry money rather than costing it money.
Exactly.
Is that what you're getting?
Even if it was natural and it was something that was maybe what you'd consider not patentable, they could probably either modify the chemical structure to make it patentable, or they could purify it, and the whole manufacturing process and all that can be kept relatively secret. So you definitely make money off it.
Okay. Okay, so now for a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Let's say very, very plausibly that I am the one who figures out the cure for cancer.
Okay.
Of course. Why shouldn't I cover it up?
Okay, because I can offer you something better. Let's say you were the person who was single-handedly responsible for curing cancer.
Plausible.
You'd potentially win a Nobel Prize straight away. That comes with $1 million prize.
Okay.
But that would be publicly knowledge. You'd have to release
Exactly.
it then. You couldn't keep it secret.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd get book deals.
$1 million is persuasive.
TV deals.
Yeah.
People want to interview you about it.
I'd probably get a cover of like every magazine.
Yeah, you'd be world famous. You'd also, remember, have millions, billions of people grateful for you discovering the cancer.
All the famous.
That's true.
I'm just saying, it kind of would seem that seems a better prize than what? A share of the profits of a successful pharmaceutical company? I mean...
Yeah, okay.
But, not that I'm jealous, you know, Susan discovering the cure for cancer. I don't think she could. I would see her in the lab. I would, like, see her, like, I don't know, I would see her, I don't know. But why couldn't she? Surely she couldn't. Maybe she can go with
it does seem...
No, you're right. That's exactly the point, is that realistically that scenario of you being in the lab with your cancer cells, try and cure number 283, and all of a sudden you cure the cancer. Again, it's something that I guess you guys have maybe talked about in a different video, something we can talk about. But essentially, you can't cure cancer from just killing the cells. Yeah. You need patients, you need a hospital, you need lots of them. You need nurses and doctors to administer this treatment. There would be a lot of people to hush. Even in a pharmaceutical setting, they need to actually cooperate with a hospital to do it.
I guess every trial I've been involved with, apart from having hundreds of patients and all of their families and everyone they know, there's also dozens and dozens of professionals.
You've got to make
in
the
the
drug
hospital.
wherever you make it, all the people who are involved in making it under clinical conditions, coordinators.
The other thing is...
Also, I would see you still.
Yeah, exactly. It's just too much to cover up. It's just not going to happen. It's just...
So is it even plausible on this level that that many people would, apart from that, could they cover it up? Would that many people choose to cover it up?
Yeah, we could all get together.
It's to do with whether or not someone will be callous enough to actually lie to their friends and family about having a cure for cancer.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, CRUK released a statistic that 1 in 2, so 50% of all people will get cancer in their lifetime. So...
It's 1.5 of us.
Yeah, I know that you guys both had family members have cancer. Yeah. I'm just saying, realistically, what amount of money would actually make you do it? Are we talking hundreds of thousands? Because again, like I said, compared to the Nobel Prize, it's nothing. Are we talking millions? Yeah. When you've got all these people who all need paid a lot of money to actually do this to the world, it starts to become not profitable.
Crack. One of them has someone they want to say. They'll sneak it to that family member and it just spreads. And also that, I genuinely, this whole idea is borderline, like it really hurts a lot of us cancer research because most people in this field could go elsewhere, get paid more money, do better paid jobs, and we don't. Most people are here for a reason, working long hours, working really hard.
And the pay is terrible. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to play devil's advocate because we want to fight Ben on these topics and be like, no, prove it to us why this is wrong, but I'm offended. It's like, you know, we dedicate our lives to this. And it's, as Ben said, it's because we know people who've been sick. So the idea that there's people out there on the internet being like, you would hide the cure for cancer, it's a bit...
But even if
I'm biased about it, for sure.
Even if, like, the perfect scenario, you've got the evil institution incorporated and every person going in there is all evil, it's still something that they can't do without outside help. You need the patients, you need the people to be able to prove that it's a cure in the first place. And that's why it's busted.
So thank you for watching our episode of Spam Filter. So at the end of these we're going to leave you 3 key messages for anything that you see online, anything you have questions about. So the first one is always check the sources. Get multiple sources if you can. Check who they're from. Do you know them? Have you heard of them? Are they reputable?
Okay. Check your sources' biases. Do they stand to gain something from misleading you? Or are they trying to sell you something? Like celery seeds, because Big Pharma's trying to cover up the cure for cancer. I've got celery seeds and I will sell them to you for a wonderful price.
And finally, as always, your first port of call for any questions you have about your disease or your family member's disease is your clinical team. Only they have seen your test results, your specific disease, and if you have specific questions, only they can answer them. And if you have broader questions, they can probably point you towards a pretty good source.
Yeah, great. So any comments? apart from anything directly related to your clinical care, in the comments below, and we'll try and address them for you. Anything you want to see us address on Spam Filter, any memes, copy them below and we'll do our best. Thanks for watching!